All day, we've been putting suicide prevention efforts in focus. It's a crucial conversation because suicide is the leading cause of death for young people ages 10 to 17 in Utah.
A new law is aimed at getting ahead of that epidemic, and it's in honor of one of those lives that we lost way too soon. Chief Political Correspondent Glenn Mills explains how a young woman's legacy is now saving lives.
Hannah's Law was passed by the state legislature just this year and immediately took effect. It makes sure anytime someone in crisis reaches out, that call is answered. That wasn't the case for Hannah. There isn't a day that goes by that Laura Warburton doesn't think of her daughter.
People loved her, and she loved people.
Hannah was a straight-A student, a student body officer in 9th grade, and was close to a black belt. But inside, the all-American girl was also in a lot of pain and struggling with concussions. That pain ended 4 years ago when she took her own life. Sometime before that, Hannah reached out to her therapist.
I don't know what happened. I just know that she didn't get through. And that was the last call she made.
That caught the attention of State Representative Steve Ellison.
I mean, have you ever heard somebody go to the emergency room and find out, oh, we're closed? Emergency rooms are always open. And mental health crisis lines, which help divert people from a visit to the emergency room, should always be open, always accessible.
He ran House Bill 41 during this year's legislative session. Now known as Hannah's Law, it requires crisis lines in Utah to be staffed 24/7, 365, or be rolled over to one that is. It also requires additional training for those who answer the call and provides funding for 5 new mobile crisis outreach teams, or MCOTs. MCOTs make home visits in an unmarked car and in plain clothes.
But they're like a mental health ambulance. It's composed of a licensed clinical social worker and with another individual who has had some sort of a crisis themselves, so they can relate with the person they're visiting with.
On the day the bill unanimously passed its final vote in the House, Warburton was recognized for her tireless work as a prevention advocate.
Hannah's death can't be for naught. Her life has to mean something.
Ellison says it does, and this law is part of her legacy.
Hannah's bill, I have no doubt, will save countless lives.
But that can only happen if those who are struggling make the call. And for anyone who is thinking twice, this mom on a mission has an emotional plea.
Pick up the phone. You're not a burden to your parents. You won't disappoint them. They might be a little upset and confused. That's okay.
Senator Orrin Hatch and Representative Chris Stewart are teaming up on a bill to create a national, easy-to-remember, 3-digit suicide prevention hotline. It overwhelmingly passed the House on Monday on a vote of 397 to 1. It needs one more vote in the Senate before it heads to President Trump for consideration. Back to you.